Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is GGF bringing you episode 7 and a return to Let's Try Grim Wanderings 2. Now, I responded to a comment that was made on an episode of this, LT, by someone on my channel, and they said they'd like to see more. And I happen to really be in the mood to play this. So it was a game that I didn't give the full exposure to. I only played 6 episodes and they were kind of disjointed. Some of them had a lot of tutorial stuff. So I'm just going to jump in and probably, this is the first time playing this game on my laptop. This is not actually a real save. That's just what I did off camera a little bit ago. So it doesn't have my game if I had one saved from before. So we're going to start a new game. Now, what really got me interested was when I checked out the strategy version, it actually adds a building and city section to the game. That's really wild. Like you could build buildings and all sorts of stuff. You can do trading and there's a lot to it. Like there's a whole city sort of management mode. And your goal in strategy mode is just to basically take over every tile on the map, whereas adventure is more of a quest-related based thing. I'm still going to do adventure, but I did want to mention strategy mode for anybody who would be interested in that. It was very cool as I was doing the tutorial on it. All right, so we're going to be... I was actually thinking orcs for something a little bit different. Let's check out orcs. They have the warrior, the barbarian, the blood mage, necromancer, shaman, assassin, stormhailed, commander, thrower, chosen, and bard. We don't need to go through these. No, I don't want to turn off hints, but we're going to basically be skipping through these hints until we find something we haven't seen. So if we look at here, the command, let's see who they like and stuff. They dislike humans, they hate half-elves, and they dislike elves. They're cool with gnomes, lizardmen. They have sympathy for ratmen and undying. And dislike harpies and ogres and demons. Neutral to the undead and undying. Sympathy to goblins, neutral to elemental dragons and animals. Yeah, I think we'll go with this for something a little different. So we look at the commander, though. They actually have a 10 in wisdom, their level up growth, their melee combat and support, so their strength is only an 8. Their vitality is 7, which is still good, and some agility, but it's the wisdom. So if we go to like their abilities, this commander's got strengthening of spirit, which is targeted on an ally. It gives increased endurance and increased resistance. It is one of those trigger before someone uses an ability on an ally in a radius of 1. Then you can cast this on them to increase their endurance, which I forget what endurance actually does specifically, and increase resistance. Oh, I think resistance is magical defense and endurance is physical defense, if I'm not mistaken. And this commander also has charge of will, which does 16 damage. It's a sort of magical ranged attack, and then burst of energy, which a lot of characters start with, restores energy. I just wanted to check that out. So their main melee, well, if we look at barbarian, they've got a 13 in strength. Also high vitality and quite high agility. No magic at all, just melee combat. So let's see what they start with in terms of melee. Damage 30, wow. A single physical strike. They have splitting, wow. Imposes the negative status of decreased physical defense. increases physical defense. And they have protective position on an ally, increases their physical and magical defense. I want to... We already saw this. Wow, they have... I mean... okay, we can check what endurance does again. It's... Reduces effect of hostile status. Oh, if the status has a physical source. Okay, so if they're going to hit you with a status, you would hit them with that. You would target your ally with that trigger. And then they'd have bonus to magical source status effects and physical source. Everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. Reflection reduces duration points of hostile status. If status has a magical source, sustainability is the physical version of that. Reduces direct ability damage, magic defense, physical, accuracy, magic. Pretty simple. Block and parry. And block. Those are only for... Well, this doesn't say physical. This is hostile ability, and then parry is a physical source. So just checking it out, but I think we will go with the orcs. Plus they have Storm Herald, which seems pretty cool. The Storm Herald, very high agility and intelligence, pretty decent vitality, range combat, and magic. This one starts with shot, which doesn't do a ton of damage, has a physical arrow attack, but also magic missile. So actually you have to combine these two because not many characters, well, some characters don't have two attacks to start with. It would be an attack and some sort of status thing or restore energy, and they also have fragility, which is another attack. It's a physical attack and range. It is a physical attack. It decreases their endurance and resistance, so quite attacky here. We've got a thrower, which is pretty interesting. High agility, but instead of intelligence next, they have quite high strength and good vitality. Melee combat and range combat, so they're a bit of a mixed bag. Protective position. Increases physical defense and magic defense. They have shot, which does a little more. And they have cripple, which is I guess it's a melee, I don't know, and it causes injury. Turn off artifacts, fact effects on body and head. That's pretty wicked. Doesn't say what the melee is. I guess if it has a radius of 2. Yeah, if it's got a radius of 2, then it seems like it's a ranged attack. Then we've got, did we check the Chosen? Very high agility and wisdom and vitality. A little bit of strength, range combat and support. She's got a decent shot. She's got the restore energy and also a magical charge of will spell. And plus, we're not even looking at these skills like what they potentially have. So we're just kind of looking at the very base. There's an orc bard. Great wisdom, pretty good intelligence, and some agility and little vitality, magic and support. Fox agility on an ally increases evasion and increases or gives mobility, allows to move 1 hex further in battle. That's really good. A magical damage attack that equal to spiritual power, which is wisdom based, so it does 19, and then restore energy. Burst of energy on an ally or themselves, basically. And then we've got a shaman, assassin, necromancer. I'm not going to go through all of them. We'll look at them more as we play them. So I think I'm going to be the orc, yeah, and I'm going to be maybe an orc assassin. Very high agility. Well, fairly high agility, fairly high strength, really good vitality too. Melee combat and even ranged combat with that agility. So it starts with confusion, which does damage and also 90% chance to decrease initiative. That's really cool. Plus, they've got shot, which isn't going to harm you if you're doing this. That has a 3 radius too, so you can cast that. You can cast shot and also do a melee attack lunge for 21 damage. Very nice indeed. Very dangerous to have 3 attacks. We'll go ahead and choose this character. Easy's recommended. I'm going to just play on... Oh, we can configure. Initial resources normal. Strength of enemy normal. Event reward normal. We'll just play on normal. Alright guys, so the earth shuddered beneath the stomp of tens of thousands of hooves. The once clear sky was eclipsed by a swarm of arrows. The battle began. 2 armies clashed and spun in a bloody dance. One of them consisted of Skedar residents. Humans, elves, gnomes, orcs, and other intelligent inhabitants of your world. The backbone of the second was demons, escaped from the underworld. On their side, hordes of half-decomposing, stinking undead fought. The view of the battle was bewitching. You had never before seen such a large-scale action. However, the army of Skydar could not resist the pressure of the monsters for a long time. The battle was hopelessly lost. Anguish enveloped your soul. The world in which you were born and grew will be consumed by demons. Images flash in your mind, replacing each other. You see fire rain falling on Skydar, a blacksmith forge and a hot metal disc, demonic gates and hordes of demons bursting from them. The soul has returned to your body. It was a dream, just a dream. Skydar. Map generation. All right. We know about events. Disturbing thoughts. What was it? It does not look like it was an ordinary dream of which you have already seen a lot during your hectic life. The visions were so real. Did the future really open to you? You got a new quest, Anxious Dream. The dream that you had the day before does not give you rest. The feeling that it was not just a dream does not leave you. You decide to go to a hermit who lives near your home village. Maybe he will dispel your fears. You receive your first quest. First thing you should do is go to your native village. Okay. So, yeah. Oh, wait, no, we don't want to... Oh, yeah, this is right. In the strategy mode, you actually enter the village and click on the buildings and stuff. White Edge is a small village that does not stand out in any way. You grew up in it, and every time you come here, your soul is warmed by pleasant memories from your childhood. Okay, so this is the garrison here, all level 10s. First thing we should do is hire troops. And let's see what we've got. We've got a dwarf knight. Ooh, an orc storm herald. An undying monk. Interesting. Half-elf telepath. Ratman ninja. Also very interesting. Human archer. Very pretty. Lizardman barbarian. And an elven druid. So if we remember what we know about orcs, we could get a dwarf. We're not going to get an elf. We're not going to get a half-elf or a human. And undying we have sympathy for. So if we go by that, we would want to start with the undying, or the orcs, the undying, the ratmen. Yeah, let's see what we've got here. Let's check out the ratman ninja. Dynamic power is strength and agility. Physical power is strength. Magic power is intelligence and wisdom. And this is just wisdom, spiritual power. So he's actually got some spiritual power, which is interesting. The ninja has a bit of wisdom, but very balanced strength, agility, and vitality. Melee combat. He's got a damage for 16, a deceptive strike. It's unblockable, unparryable, hit chance is constant. And also a lunge for 16. Cunning combat. Ninjutsu. Composite armor. Spear, knuckle, scrolls. Okay. Very good initiative. Let's look at others. We have the Undying, who has less stamina, but is a bit happier. Very good initiative. Wow. Quite the beastly physical power. Not too bad in the other spot. So Monk Gets all the strength, gets a lot of strength, high vitality, high agility, and some wisdom as well. Melee combat is the deal. He's got dissipating push. It does 24 damage, and it dissipates positive, which reduces positive status's effect power and deals damage. So that's pretty cool, the monk way. Then he's got protective position, which is going to increase physical defense and magic defense. And then he's got strike, 24 damage. It's equal to physical power. I don't know if he can use a melee weapon or not. Let's see, he's got scrolls, scythe, yep, and sword and unarmed. Composite armor, military, and monk. I like this Ratman monk, or it's not the Ratman monk. It's the Undying monk. But then we also have the half-elf is out. The elf is out. We have a lizardman barbarian. How do we look with the lizardman? Neutral? Neutral, okay. And he's level 2. Lizardman barbarian. Wow, massive physical attack. Massive. They get all the strength, as we've seen. 8 vitality, 7 agility, melee combat. Protective position. Interesting that it's a buff. Increases physical defense and base magic. Attacks for 32, equal to 80% of his physical power. And also interesting splitting, which decreases physical defense, 80% power, and decreases physical defense. You'd want to use that first. And then for 3 turns, batter on them with strike, and then defend when all out of options. So I like that character as well. I keep doing that. Did we check the Ratman Ninja? We did, and room to learn a 3rd skill. How about the Dwarven Knight? Pretty good. We're okay with dwarves, right? Dwarves and orcs, yeah. Dwarves are cool. So the knight gets all the vitality. They last the longest. Quite good strength, and then just pretty poor, I guess, in the rest of them. But let's see. He's got immobility. Deals damage and imposes the negative effect of retention. Prevents the character from moving. Pretty good if you have some sort of tough character trying to get through a melee character. You can hit them with this for 3 turns. They can't move and they have to attack the knight, who, you know, by no coincidence, also has the most HP and survivability, because then they can do protective position on self. Target ally, I don't know. We'll have to see how this works. Radius 0, so it's probably just on self. Increased physical and magical defense, and they can attack. They can let out a strike for 21 damage, which is pretty decent damage. So we have 5,000 gold. 1, and then of course the Storm Herald, which we know a bit about. Agility, intelligence, range combat, and magic. Bit of vitality. Good intelligence. This one has magic missile for 15 damage and a nice 3 radius, and fragility, which says it's a physical attack with a 3 radius, dynamic power, and magic power. So it's a sort of magical physical attack and imposes decreased endurance and resistance, which will mean they have more chance of getting status effects, I believe, right? If we go back to endurance again. Yeah. Or no. The effect of the duration is sustainability and reflection. The power is endurance and resistance. So if we lower their endurance or resistance and then hit them with a status effect, it will be much more powerful. Okay, so let's see what we want to do here. I guess that's everybody. We can't use these ones. Let's see. very strong party early on with all these characters. Let's see the salary. The salary for the Storm Herald's very low. Oh, the Ratman Ninja is low. Let's see, we have 5 slots, so do we want to take them all? I like the Knight. I really like the Monk. I'm not sure what Dissipation does. Dissipates their positive status effects. Okay. The power of them. So that is pretty handy then. And then they can take on self, increase defense. So, and we definitely want this character, the Lizard Man Barbarian. So let's go ahead and put you right here for 400 coins. Wait. Eats a lot of food, but that's okay. Boom. The Storm Herald will be a ranged character that we want, a fellow orc. Let's put him right there for 200 coins. He's very cheap because he's first level. Now, do we take the Dwarven Knight? Do we take the Undead Monk? The Undying Monk? Which levels up mostly in intelligence. I didn't check this actually. A bit in wisdom and strength and less in agility and vitality. So he's going to continue to level up in strength. No, wait, in intelligence. So an Undying Monk is going to level up mostly in intelligence. What does that actually mean? These status effects are magical and based on magic defense and physical defense. This attack is based on, okay, spiritual power, but not, what's the third one? Magic power, which is intelligence. But we can get him intelligence abilities if we want. This slot becomes active when they reach level 6, level 12. Plus we can remove these if possible. Looks like he has potions, which is something to consider too. I didn't look at the other two's skills actually. Unarmed and sword and scythe. I'd like someone to have the scythe. Oh, it has scrolls. I don't know why there's a potion there. Can also get trading, stealth, which unlocks additional options. Oh, these are event. Though this improves buy and sell rate of artifacts and ingredients. Repair artifact. That's pretty nice. We haven't put our points in yet. We have some good ones that we're going to look at. There's so many abilities. Leather armor for the barbarian. Spear and mace, which is cool. Potions, which is cool. Also repair artifact, 2 spots there. And perception unlocks additional effects. Okay. You have identify artifact. Lockpicking. Okay. I have stealth lockpicking. Alright. The ninja. Ninja would kind of be what I'm already doing. Knuckle and spear. Composite armor. Then of course we have ninjutsu, which we can see the abilities. There's also blind, decreased physical accuracy and magical accuracy. That's awesome. And deal damage. And then there's fatal strike, which has a radius of 2. It equals physical and dynamic power together to do damage. So ninjutsu, very powerful. Cunning combat. We get the lunge, which he has. does physical and dynamic. We get cut the throat eventually, 20% instant death. Kills a character if its hit points are less than or equal to 20% from base. Difference in levels changes the threshold by 10% per level. That's awesome. And Fraudulent Strike deals damage equal to dynamic power 75% and changes positions with the target character. That's pretty cool too. So very attack heavy skills here. If we look at the Barbarian, Tribal Traditions, he gets that splitting, which will decrease the physical attack. He gets Accelerated Strike, deals damage. Physical does 40 damage. Ability available only if unit moved. It's unblockable, unparryable, hit chance is constant. And then we have Powerful Strike that does 60 after moving. The character has to move, so that's important to remember. And then Military Matter. He's got Strike. He's got Protective Position. These are what he can get eventually, obviously. Infuriate, which deals good damage and imposes. Infuriated character loses control over itself and in its next turn will strive to inflict maximum damage on the person who imposed this status on him. The status drops when the character that imposed it dies. Does not affect friendly characters. And then he has Cleave. Very nice damage. And it's basically 90%. Oh, effects in a trident position. So 3 potential enemies could be targeted by that. Very nice. And then the Storm Herald has Forbidden Knowledge, which is the fragility, which we like, is the Dangerous Wound, deals small dynamic and magic power, but imposes Tearing Wound. At the beginning of turn, it's if status duration ends, deals damage equal to effect power. Resistance does not affect the status. Effect power is 38, guys, and a 90% chance to impose, so that's pretty cool. And then Ice Spike, it's a trigger, so so when an ability is resolved on a person, on a ally within 3 radius, you can trigger this and do 15 damage. So it's a trigger ability. Very cool. Then there's range combat, basic range combat, shot. Then he'll get retention, prevents from moving. Also does physical damage, shot and leg, and then pain through shot, which does physical and dynamic power together. Very cool. And he's got a third, which is base magic, which is the magic missile. Nice 3 radius. Magic burn, which adds burn at the beginning of turn, deals damage equal to effect power of 18, which, of course, these aren't hard numbers. These could go up based on what, gear we're wearing, how we level up, and so on. So, very cool. I don't know if you get to level up all the characters. I don't remember in adventure mode. I bet that might be just for strategy mode. But, burns the character. And then also Magic Storm, 15 damage in a rhombus, which I need to go back to geometry class and remember what that is. Our assassin gets Lethal Tactics, which includes confusion, deals damage, and imposes decrease initiative by 12 or the effect power. Deep Wound imposes bleeding. At beginning of turn, deals damage equal to effect power. Then effect power is increased by 25%. And it does damage as well. And also, Wilting does more damage and imposes Doom. If status duration ends, the character dies. Resistance does not affect it. So they have a number of turns, 6, and then they die. So that's pretty interesting. That's us. Cunning combat, which we saw, and range combat as well. So a little bit of everything. 1 second, guys. So we've checked everyone in the party thus far. Now, in terms of who we want to take on, I think the knight would be a good idea because dwarves are going to level up strength and vitality if we see a lot of vitality. So a dwarf knight is really going to be a vital character, and some strength and wisdom, which helps as well. Whereas the Undying Monk, he's going to get a lot of intelligence, which affects his magic power, magic defense, reflection, resistance, and parry. Does affect parry, which is nice. Determines the mind, intuition, magical aptitude. Magic defense is cool. Reflection, resistance, that's cool. Not sure how much magic he's going to be using as a monk, but he can always get, if we go to his skills, is there anything here equal to spiritual power? That's wisdom, so not much there. Stupefying Fist. Stupefies, forces character to skip his turn for 3 turns. Very powerful skill. And Shaking Palm, again, spiritual power, chance to kill a character equal to 10%, and the chance varies depending on source and target levels. 10% instant death and damage, but it's equal to spiritual power, which again is wisdom. And then also Dissipating Push, again spiritual power, does 24 damage. Oh, reduces the positive status effect power by spiritual power, which is 9 dissipation, and the damage is based on physical power, 24 damage. So, and then he can get military matter, which based on physical power, 24 damage. Can defend, which is always good. Impose Infuriated. And do a cleave as well. So not too bad at all. And the Ratman Ninja, we saw what they can do. So we're going to grab this Dwarf Knight for sure. And I am going to grab the Monk, I think, and put me on the back line right here. The Monk here. At this stage of the game, the squad size is limited to 4 characters. Oh. I see. Okay, so these are our 4 then. I probably would have grabbed the Monk instead of the Knight. You know what? I'm going to bite the bullet and... Too bad I can't reload. I didn't even save. The Undying Monk is such a cool character. Dwarven Knight, Orc Assassin, Lizardman Barbarian, Orc Storm Herald. Alright, well, there'll be more cool characters, so this is going to be our party. We can come here. While we think about it, let me leave and save the game so we can, in case we make any mistakes. Let's see how long we've been playing. It took us 33 minutes to do that. Now we can go to the artifact shop. We know about artifacts. And look at each character. The assassin, me. Looks like I can't use anything here. Oh, I didn't level up though yet. Our barbarian looks like looks good. So what we want to do here is give him the 2-handed mace rather than the spear. Spiritual power. I don't know he's going to be doing much spiritual power. This does dynamic power. This would be better for him, but it's the only thing the knight can use. So at least he'll take a ton more physical power. We'll take it. Grab that. And the knight can grab the spear. And the Storm Herald, I guess, can grab dynamic power. Nice. Throwing knives for 120. And he has much less vitality, so we'll give him the leather armor. And then in 7 days, we'll check again. Oh, he could get the book, Magic and Spiritual Power. The book is actually a main hand thing. Oh, he does have magical power. And magical power there, fragility. Would that be better than actually him using the throwing knives, which is his dynamic power? Dynamic power plus 12. Wait, let me try to figure this out again. Does not affect that, but does affect this. Whereas magical power definitely affects both of them, so... And he gets a plus 11 there, so I'll get the magic power. We'll just put the knives in the inventory for now. Grab that book. Now, if we look at his damage, 24 and 21. Very nice. And there's nothing else anybody can use. Okay, so we have to check back in 7 days. Potion shop. It shows everybody has a potion slot, but it's actually a scroll for some. The Dwarven Knight has potions. I can give him a potion of heal. I have nothing yet. The Barbarian has potions. Perfect. Potion of heal for him. 192 coins. It says 96. Oh, does it matter who... Oh, did we pay 192 for it? Okay. I thought it was just 92. And then he also has potions too, possibly, or nothing. He's got potions. Wow, a lot of potions, no scrollage. All right, so we've done that. There's also the resources shop. There's food, which we have to keep an eye on, and this is what is that again? Bread. -4, -20 food per turn, so we just have to keep an eye on that. We can find people out in the wilds who sell stuff as well, which we'll keep an eye out for. Infirmary. Heal or revive a character for gold. Everybody's fully healed. Now, what about their stamina and happiness are all pretty darn good, so nothing to worry about there. Training center. This is important. You can learn active abilities. Each training center can teach a limited number of active abilities. If some of the abilities are not available in this training center, you'll probably be able to find them in another one. So here we have actually lunge, which is cunning combat. Shot, which is ranged, and lethal tactics confusion is being taught. Can he learn the second level of confusion? He can. But I'm sure it's going to be very expensive. If we go to do it. 500 coins, okay. Oh, he can learn level 2 of all his skills. Or his abilities. The Barbarian can do the same. And just get ridiculous damage. Wow. Increases by 11. 49 increases by 6. So this physical power, massive. He can get all upgrades. Damage 37 from strike. It's no longer 80%. It's just equal to physical power. What does this do that's better? More turns. No, the power is higher. 5 power, 2 power versus 4 power and 1 power. And then the immobilization does 37 damage and lasts for 4 turns. And does 37 damage. Oh, as is. Okay, yeah, it does 80% physical power. So I don't know which way we're going to go here. Did I check the Codex of War? It seems like I didn't check the Dwarven Knight's abilities. He gets Immobilization. He gets Daring Challenge, which is a trigger before an ability is resolved on an ally in a 1 radius. It triggers redirects the ability target to this person. It's unblockable, unparryable, hit chance is constant. So they take an attack for an ally as a trigger response, and the Pain Through Strike, 80% physical power attack. Very nice. And this would do 37 versus 30. We do have to watch the rising energy costs. This also has... Oh, wait. We have to see if there's any change in cooldown as well. Everybody here can get their abilities upgraded. Just depends what we really want to do. I kind of like the idea of immobilization for extra turns. We have 500 gold. We can't buy too many of them. What else is there? Tavern. You enter a half-empty chamber saturated with the smell of beer and urine. Behind the counter, you see a sullen innkeeper. Okay, we can just rest here. Plunder and get destroyed by level 10s. Let's see what they have here. They have an elf witcher. Wow, level 10, looking beastly. An orc thrower, looking beastly. An undying rogue. A dwarven druid, cutie. A human witcher, looks familiar, right? And a dwarf paladin, pretty tough customers. So alright guys, I'm going to save here and say thank you for joining me. We'll tie up some loose ends next time and then we'll head out and get into adventure. So I appreciate your guys' viewership. Hope you enjoyed. If you feel like getting involved in this LT, then feel free to check the previous videos because you can check out more about the game. I go through all the tutorial stuff if you want to get caught up. It's been a while, so you may want to watch the early videos up to from episodes 1 to 6 basically, but feel free to do that. But thank you guys. Hope you'll join me as well going forward. It's going to have a storyline and quests and everything because we're in adventure mode. So hope to see you guys next time. Much love, peace, and joy. And yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Until then, guys, be cool. Bye-bye.